James, are we ready to go ahead and get started?
We are ready.
All right, great. I will go ahead and call to order the March 2nd TTAC meeting, and I will turn it over to James for a roll call.
Good morning, everyone. When we call your name, please let us know if you're present. Amy Hill with Transpo.
Present.
Brent Warren, City of Napanee.
Here.
Steve Moriarty, Kosciuszko County. Ty Adley, Marshall County.
Here.
Carol Boyles, City of South Bend. David Armstrong, Indot Fort Wayne.
Present.
Ryan Klussman, City of Elkhart. Josh Corwin, City of Goshen. Mike Daigle, South Bend International Airport.
Here.
Chris Dressel, City of South Bend.
Here.
Ryan Fellows, St. Joseph County.
Present.
Bill Holder, Kosciuszko County.
Present.
Chris Jamrose, City of Mishawaka. Natasha Kaufman, Elkhart County.
Present.
Marsha McSherry, Kosciuszko County. Sky Metters, St. Joe County. Jessica Miller, Indot LaPorte. Jason Peters, Marshall County.
Present.
Charles McKenzie, Elkhart County.
Present.
Derek Spear, City of Mishawaka.
Present.
Sean Cerisi, City of Plymouth. Justin Taylor, City of Warsaw.
Here.
Based on all those who replied that they are present, we do have a quorum and we can proceed.
Thanks, James. Next up is the minutes from the January 5th meeting. Hopefully everybody had a chance to take a look at those. If there are no questions or comments, I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Bill Holder, so moved.
Ty Adley, second.
All those in favor of approving the January minutes?
Aye.
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 And any opposed? If not, the minutes are approved, and we will jump into James's report with the February administrative modifications.
As always, the administrative modifications are small changes that the advisory committee as well as the policy board have allowed staff to make to the transportation improvement program between meetings. We detail all of those changes out, and those are posted online as well as provided to each of our committee members and policy board members. You can see the February administrative modifications that were done in your packet as well as online. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask staff. This is presented as an informational item only. There's no need for a vote. That would conclude my report.
Thanks, James. Do we have any old business?
There's no old business today.
All right, we will jump right into the new business then.
All right, good morning, everyone. So this month's amendments to our Transportation Improvement Program fall under Transportation Resolution 6-22. So first we have item A. This is a locally initiated project in Elkhart County. It is a countywide bridge inspection and inventory program for fiscal years 23 and 24. And we are adding in PE. Next, we have item B. This is a locally initiated project in the city of Elkhart. This is at Hively Avenue, specifically from Sanders Avenue to Hazel Street, crossing the Norfolk Southern Railroad. This realignment and new bridge construction is a part of our local tracks program that works to eliminate at-grade crossings. And with this project, we are increasing state funding for PE by $794,427. Those are the only two items we have for Transportation Resolution 6-22. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And if there are none, I would ask for your endorsement of Transportation Resolution 6-22.
Ryan Fellows, so move.
Natasha Kaufman, seconded.
All those in favor of the endorsement of Transportation Resolution 6-22, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If not, the resolution is endorsed.
Thank you. Next, we have Transit Resolution 7-22. So Transpo had unallocated 2019 and 2020 5307 funds. So we'll be adding these funds to the 2022 5307 grant for operating assistance, specifically for ADA paratransit services. This equates to an increase in federal funding of a little less than $180,000. I'm happy to answer any questions on Transit Resolution 7-22. And if there are none, I would ask for your endorsement.
So moved.
Ryan Fellows, second.
All those in favor of endorsing Transit Resolution 7-22, please say aye.
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 And any opposed? If not, the resolution is endorsed. And next up, we have James with some new staff introductions.
Yeah, so before we tell you about kind of the status of grants and plans and programs, wanted to introduce two new staff members. First is Paul. Paul just finished up his master's degree over at the Ohio State University and moved to South Bend just a few weeks ago. He's in I think his third week at this point, but he's going to be our new transportation analyst. So Paul, if you want to unmute and say hello.
Yeah, thank you, James, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you, and will do my best to be helpful. And MACOG is doing an amazing work at making me feel happy here. It's going well. It is only my third week in South Bend, but so far so good. And yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and I hope to get to interact with everyone.
Thanks, Paul. And Paul's going to be working on, as a transportation analyst, he's going to be doing a lot of work with our travel demand model, data visualization, those kind of areas. So just so that you're kind of aware of what that role does. Our next new staff member is a new intern that we've recently brought on board, Brian Connor. Brian Connor started, I think, around the same time as Paul. They kind of had their first days together. So we have a fun new cohort of new employees. So Brian, if you're on, you can unmute and say hello.
Hi, everyone. Excited to be here for the next couple months. Coming from living in other parts of the country, so it's nice to be, I grew up in Iowa, so it's nice to be back in the Midwest for a while.
Thanks, Brian. So those are our two new staff members that we want to introduce folks to. Next, we'll kind of go to grants and funding. And I think Dustin's going to present this one.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Good morning. And just wanted to say it's kind of nice to no longer be the new guy and have the new people on board. Just wanted to give a quick update on an upcoming grant. It's actually not due until August, the application, but it's a fairly good size grant, so worth putting the time and effort into getting it prepared to make sure you're successful. So it's for construction, acquisition of easements or property, and trailhead support facilities. So, something to a parking lot or a little shelter or something at a trailhead, and then bridges, boardwalks, and crossings. The values of the grant are 50 to 250,000 with an 80-20 match. So, and one of the key things is that the 20% has to be available at the time the grant is awarded, or I'm sorry, at the time that it's applied for. So, again, wanted to make you aware of it early to kind of get ducks in a row and get everything if there's a project that you have that fits that.
Thanks, Dustin. And for those, the Indiana Trails program is different than the Next Level Trails program. So this is just another opportunity to fund good trail projects and kind of move the needle on adding miles to the overall trail system. So thanks for that, Dustin. Allie.
Okay. Next up, I wanted to remind everyone that our next quarterly tracking meeting will be April 6th, so directly after our next TTAC meeting. We'll be sending out reminder emails for this next week, so be on the lookout for that. This will be the last meeting of our fiscal year, so I anticipate even more exciting conversations than normal. But if you have any questions or have any issues submitting the form, please feel free to reach out to me. And I also wanted to give a quick update on our regional freight mobility plan. So you'll remember the kind of goal of this plan is to help improve freight mobility throughout our region. We are currently wrapping up our freight profile and stakeholder engagement phases. So the freight profile is really looking at our current freight system. And then after we kind of wrap these up, we'll move into our needs assessment, which will help us kind of identify improvements needed within the region. You can see here at the schedule, we're a little behind schedule, but I do anticipate having this plan wrapped up by the end of the year. And sometime this summer, HDR, our consultant for this plan, is planning to come and present to TTAC and kind of show you guys what they have up to this point and get your feedback before a final plan is actually presented. So if you have any questions on this, please feel free to reach out.
Hello. The AmeriCorps update is quick but important. We have an interest forum for service sites that are looking for AmeriCorps members to serve in their organization, as well as we are currently recruiting for AmeriCorps members. So if you know service sites or are a service site that would be interested in hosting AmeriCorps members, or if you know individuals who may be interested in becoming AmeriCorps members, then we are currently recruiting for those positions. If you have any questions, you can contact me. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We are excited after 2 years of a hiatus to bring back an in-person Partners for Clean Air Luncheon, of course, once again at the Matterhorn in Elkhart. So we're excited to be back there and have enjoy a good luncheon together. This year, it will fall on April 20th, which is just a couple days before Earth Day. And currently looking for nominations for our award winners, organizations, businesses, individuals that have gone above and beyond voluntarily to do things to make our air cleaner in this region and other sustainability projects. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to reach out to MACOG directly or go to the Clean Air page on our website and there's a link to nominate, or visit our Facebook page for one of our recent posts. Thanks.
Yeah, so tactical urbanism, you should have all received an email recently about tactical urbanism. Basically, we are looking to help you do some projects this coming year. We have a toolkit available with materials in it to help implement. There's a couple of pictures on the slide of a project that was done down in Plymouth. And just want to put a plug in to encourage you to look at that as an opportunity and involve us as you need to. Again, we have the materials available, but we're also available to help drum up ideas or help refine those ideas and then make it happen.
All right. Again, the Connect Transit Plan, just so everyone's aware, this is a plan that MACOG is partnered with Transpo on. It is an opportunity to look at the transit systems in our region and kind of look at what type of transit system we want to have, what it would take to invest in that transit system, or what can we do with the existing resources. Right now, we have some public engagement opportunities as we're doing what's called the Choices Report, which is this high level conversation about the trade offs when designing public transit around the trade-off of either having routes that have a higher degree of frequency, they come more often, or that it's more of a coverage-based system that covers a larger geography, but when you do that larger geography, your routes come less frequently. So we have a choices report that we're engaging the public on right now. We have some opportunities this weekend on Saturday, March 5th from 10 to 12. We'll be at the Tolson Center in Elkhart. And from 2 to 4, we'll be at the Maple City Conference Center in Goshen. If you don't want to hang out with us on a Saturday, even though we'd love for you to do that, you're more than welcome to. But we also do have an opportunity on this choices report that is scheduled on Monday, March 7th from 6:30 to 8 on Zoom. So you can hang out with us on Zoom on Monday, March 7th. There will be other public engagement opportunities throughout this whole plan. And the whole plan is really just taking a deep dive into the transpo and interurban trolley systems and trying to figure out where they can improve, where there are opportunities in those kind of elements. So we hope that all of you engage in this process and that you help us have the public get involved in this process, because we really want to make sure that this is a transit system for the region that we're thinking through. This usually is a timeline of looking through investments over the next 10 years. So really we're looking at theoretically what type of transit system will we need now, but also out to 2032. So we ask that you really get involved and help us work on those investment decisions. So that is the high level update that I have for Connect, unless Amy, you wanted to share anything from Transpo's perspective.
No, I would just echo the importance of being engaged in the process. There's a lot of great information on the website, which is connecttransitplan.com, including a survey. So I would encourage everyone to take a look at that and please share that with your networks as well. We really need feedback from a broad base, not just current riders, future riders, but certainly the employer and employee perspective across the region. Because as James mentioned, this type of opportunity doesn't come along very often. So the more involvement we can have, the more successful plan we'll have. So thanks, James.
Another plan that's wrapping up is what was originally called the Disaster Recovery and Economic Resiliency Plan. Because I guess that was a mouthful, we decided to call it Collaborating for Regional Resilience and Economic Growth, because that was a shorter acronym, a shorter title. But so the Collaborating for Regional Resilience and Economic Growth, this was a plan that we worked on with the region. It was funded by USEDA. They had asked that with some of the funding we received from CARES, that we do a disaster resiliency plan, kind of a lessons learned from COVID, or trying to think through the challenges that COVID faced on various portions of the economy, things that maybe are now considered economic development topics that maybe 2 years ago were not really on the forefront of economic development topics, and asked us to put that together. So we worked on it with the region. That report is finalized and it's out right now for a public comment for the month of March. So throughout the month of March, we will have public comment opportunity on that plan with an open house as well. It's a digital open house or kind of digital meeting opportunity that is, I believe, March 17th, if I have that correct. I can double check here. So then at the April TTAC and policy boards, we will be asking for the approval of this plan, because we'll be amending this in to our CEDS, which is the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. So wanted to just make sure that everyone was aware that that is out for public comment. And we thank everybody who was involved and participated in that process to help us think through different strategies for the region. If there are any questions, I can take any questions on that. Otherwise, that's kind of the update for that item.
All right, next item up is privilege of the floor. Do we have any questions or comments from committee members? If not, we can move into public comment. James, do we have any public comments?
We did not receive any public comments in advance. I'll double check and see if there are any public comments via the YouTube live stream. I'm not seeing any public comments via the YouTube live stream. So I don't believe that we have public comments today.
Okay, well, thanks, James. If there's no other questions or comments, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Motion to adjourn, Ryan Fellows.
Derek Spear, second.
All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
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 All right, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for your time, and have a great rest of the week.